we go to the United Nations website and their new program to stop conspiracy theories. You need to stop the spread of conspiracies, right? And they've got this whole hashtag campaign, think before sharing. It says the COVID pandemic has sparked a worrying rise in disinformation and conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories can be dangerous. So it's not even about free speech because, of course, we can't allow certain speech because certain speech is dangerous. They often target and discriminate against vulnerable groups, ignore specific evidence, and polarize society with serious consequences. This needs to stop. And so on this website, they put together some videos and some infographics to be able to help you better understand how to fight this conspiracy disinformation. There are several things in there that are important for us to focus on, right? Because they are linking questioning the COVID narrative with science denying. So the term science denier, right? That is a charged term that is used on purpose because in people's minds, it triggers the idea of being a Holocaust denier. If you're a science denier, that's the same as a Holocaust denier. And if you're a Holocaust denier, that means you think that Hitler is great and that you want to kill the Jews. So that's one part of this disinformation campaign to get people to stick with the narrative because they don't want to be considered to be anti-Semites and they don't want to be thought of as people that like Hitler. So that's one part of it, right? And then so also linking the hate. It talks about at the end especially, it says don't spread hate. So if you are helping people to understand what's going on with the fake pandemic, you are engaged in hate, whether it's against ethnicities, whether it's against religions, whether it's against sodomites. It's all connected. That's another way that they want to protect the narrative by linking it to these other ideas.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
I find it ironic that they're asking you to do exactly what you really should do. I mean, check the facts.
Yep.
Check the author. Find out, dig deeper. And that's exactly what people are doing. They're actually uncover the conspiracy, but that's what they're telling you to do.
Right.
Thinking that you're not going to really do that.
Right. Because then if you question the narrative, you're like, oh, what I'm studying is making me question the narrative. That must mean I hate Jews. Therefore, I can't question the narrative.
Right. The last time that they said how to spot fake news or whatever, they had this video release and it was basically just like, did the mainstream media say it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
then that means it's not fake.
Right.
If it comes from government or mainstream media,
Then it's not fake.
it's automatically good.
So, and they put together these infographics because you're too stupid to understand, too much. That's actually one of the things they talk about is to be, as simple as possible. So I want to break down these things because we need to understand the messaging because I'm going to show you in a minute how it's being used. Just like with those other examples, the media is doing as they're told. So conspiracy theories are dangerous. So it's a danger. He's got a match, right? He is going to cause harm. So this is no longer about free speech. If you are questioning the narrative, you are dangerous. Just questioning the narrative is dangerous. Be warned, the COVID-19 pandemic has seen a rise in harmful and misleading conspiracy theories. It may be difficult to recognize them or know how best to deal with them because, when you deal with facts, it's hard to debunk them. And so it's hard to recognize when you're dealing with a conspiracy or not. So conspiracy theories often target or discriminate against an entire group perceived as the enemy behind a real or imagined threat. Again, right? They're trying to pigeonhole you. They polarize society and fuel violent extremism. Okay. If you question the narrative, you are fueling violent extremism. While most people who spread conspiracy theories genuinely believe them, others deploy them cynically to achieve these effects. Okay. So if you're believing them, you're just a sucker falling for people that are purposely, knowingly lying to you. That's the idea that they're trying to put in your head. And so how do I identify? And of course, they call it a conspiracy theory because they want to associate these things with things that they're like, it can't be proven. It's just a theory, as opposed to the idea that it can be, it's a fact. They identify an enemy and a secret plot that threatens people's lives or beliefs and spark a defense mechanism which can fuel discrimination, justify hate crimes, and can be exploited by violent extremist groups. They spread mistrust in public institutions, which can lead to political apathy or radicalization. So this is what we've been talking about for the past several weeks, especially, that they are obsessed with their own legitimacy. We have to think of them as legitimate because if we don't think of them as legitimate, they lose their power. And so they're telling you that you cannot question their legitimacy, otherwise XYZ. They spread mistrust in scientific and medical information, which can have serious consequences. So, if you don't trust the medical industry, you are killing other people. So watch out. Perceived outgroups of society are especially prone to be targets of conspiracy theories, hate speech, and disinformation campaigns. This includes people of different origin, or I don't know what that means, different origin. And they're probably meaning national origin, but
Well, don't you know everyone is born of the same woman?
Oh, no, it could be man. What if you came from a man?
that's hate speech, Micah.
Different origin.
What if nonsense came out of your mouth?
Religion or sexual orientation, right? So questioning the COVID narrative means, it's all linked together. In the context of COVID-19, specific groups were frequently falsely blamed for the spread of the virus in Europe, including people of assumed Asian origin, Jews, Muslims, Roma, I don't know what that is, and people who identify as sodomites. I don't know why the Jews and Muslims in Italy was blamed for the fake pandemic, but I don't know. The only thing I heard about it was the Asian hate. Remember that whole thing that they were saying, stop Asian hate?
No.
It was so ridiculous.
I only heard stop Asian hate.
Right. That's what
I didn't even
I never
hear.
witnessed Asian hate.
Yeah.
But the media was pushing it down your throat.